Motion to spill. Case number 006. Till death do us part. But not legally.
Tim, I just love your voice.
Thank you.
Your voice is my favorite.
I know. It's perfect.
I want you to MC my funeral. Can we like pre-record that? 'Cause
Sure.
My funeral will be like a great time.
I am going to do some ASMR kind of things and guided meditation and sleep stories.
I think that would be amazing
Yes.
because
I love sleep stories.
and I love your voice.
Thank you.
By the way, this is Sarah Young, co-host of Motion to Spill.
And I'm Megan Rogers, her right-hand paralegal.
That's right.
Her favorite certified paralegal.
You know, I'm still not comfortable with you saying that.
We both love Bridget. She's great. But she's retired.
There will only be one Bridget.
There will. But she is retired, and so you've got to let go a little bit.
No, I can't let go. Can't let go of Bridget.
Do you see what I deal with?
Yep.
It's just not fair.
You're my favorite.
You're my favorite employed paralegal. That sounds weird.
That didn't, no. Keep working on that, though.
Just say you're my favorite. Just leave it at that.
Okay, I'm your favorite.
Okay. Does that make you feel better?
It does.
Okay.
It does. I need it. I need that reassurance.
Well, I want to make sure that you're getting what you need. Okay.
My ego. So what are we
I
talking
just,
about
my mind
today?
just went blank. I didn't know what to.
What are we talking about today?
So today we're talking about, again, this is another episode of our estate planning series. And today we're talking about either cohabitating unmarried couples, or actually just did some estate planning for somebody, for a couple that the one person is located here and the other person is in Canada. They're together. They've been together for 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
But not legally married in this country. So not married. And then this also covers, same-sex couples, LGBTQ plus couples, married, unmarried. This is still a podcast for everybody because these legal issues involve everyone. So we've got, first of all, this segment we could call I do, but do I have documents? Okay, so you got married. Congratulations. You love each other. You posted the wedding photos on Instagram. Your in-laws are still recovering from the open bar tap. You're legally married in North Carolina. Yeah, mine did not cover the bar tap. We did, but that set us back a bit because we have friends that like to party. Anyway, you're legally
just gone to Scotland like I did.
Oh, your wedding photo, amazing.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, so you're legally married in North Carolina, which means you automatically have all the legal protections, right? Well, yes and no.
She always says that.
What?
Well, yes and no.
It depends.
It depends. Or, well, if this, then that. But if this, then that.
Then no.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring my no button next time. But it's the no part that we need to talk about. Okay. So here's what marriage does give you in North Carolina. You're automatically next of kin. So you can inherit under intestacy laws if your spouse dies without a will. You can make medical decisions for each other. The hospital administrator can't kick you out of the ICU. These are huge wins for people that are married. Wins that the LGBTQ plus community fought for decades to achieve, but didn't automatically get. But when you're married, regardless of who your spouse is or what you look like, you get those rights. But boyfriend, girlfriend, same sex, not same, hetero, whatever. If you are not married, you don't automatically have that right. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But here's what marriage doesn't do. It doesn't tell North Carolina who gets your grandmother's engagement ring. It doesn't say whether your college fund goes to your spouse. or gets split with your parents, it doesn't handle blended families, stepkids, or that beach house you bought before you got married. We kind of covered that in a previous episode.
Yes.
So, Megan, you want to tell us about Philip Seymour Hoffman?
So, this was a great celebrity disaster. He was a brilliant actor and an Academy Award winner.
You guys remember Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Oh, yeah.
Remember the movie, Along Came Polly? Like, he stole the show in that movie. Please tell me you've seen this.
I have not.
This is
I have
where
not.
I became intimately familiar with the term shart.
It's an important
Yes.
term that you need to
So
know.
there are a few movies that I quote incessantly. This is one of them. If you have not seen that movie, please go see Along Came Polly. I have it on DVD.
That's Jennifer Aniston, right?
Yes, Ben Stiller, Jennifer Aniston. But Philip Seymour Hoffman just kind of plays this like weird friend that just kind of shows up once in a while, drops, well, in this case, a deuce, and like just leaves. Like he just like has these lines that are amazing. They're really funny. And you're like, what? Anyway.
Where did you come from?
Yeah. So, but he also is a serious actor. But anyway, Philip Seymour Hoffman. What's your favorite Philip Seymour Hoffman movie, Tim?
Boogie Nights.
Good one. Was there a favorite line?
It was not so much a line as it was when he wanted to drive Dirk's car. And he's like, no, he's okay.
Yes. Yeah. And so sometimes I have like that timid response, but that's from Boogie Nights. Megan, do you have a Philip Seymour Hoffman
I don't
favorite?
even know who he is. Sorry.
Are you serious?
He was Capote in the movie Capote.
Yeah. I mean, he was like one of those method actors that could play anybody. But
Yeah.
anyway.
I'll look him up.
Well, no, you're going to watch Along Came Polly with me at some point.
Okay.
It's going to happen.
I will watch it with you.
Polly will come along.
Do you know the only downside to watching a movie with Sarah?
I fall asleep.
No, that is not the downside. I can live with that. She pauses it and
And explains.
has conversations with you during the movie.
Sarah
or
explains.
it could just be she got a random thought. Her ADHD is strong in this
Hey,
one.
listen.
And she
I have
just
things to say sometimes.
she pauses the movie multiple times. It took twice the amount of time to get through Wicked because she pauses it.
I had things to say.
I've not seen that. I mean, I've seen the musical.
Highly recommend.
Five
Well,
times.
I made her watch it last weekend because Volume 2 is coming out. And for those of you who don't know, I am recovering from ACL surgery. And I can't do a lot. But there are several movie theaters around the Winston area that have reclining seats. And fair food. But there are some that have like they'll actually bring it to your table. Like there's one in Greensboro that you order it and they like it's actually decent food, and they bring you food, drinks, booze, recliner. Anyway, I want to
what
go
she
to one of
needs.
those.
Because
Yeah.
people stopped going to
Yeah,
movie theaters, so they had to do something to act like it's home.
right. And we are way off topic, but we have like 5 different streaming services, and we have a huge, I think it's like a 70-inch TV, big sound system. Like we can make the movie come to us, you know. So these movie theaters are going to have to find a way to differentiate or make you want to go. But anyway, back to the topic at hand.
Back
here.
to Philip Seymour
yes,
Hoffman.
sorry.
So he had 3 kids with his long-term partner, Mimi O'Donnell. But the kicker was that they never got married. Now, he did have a will that he created back in 2004, but by the time he died a decade later, he'd had 2 more kids, and they weren't in that will. And he left the overwhelming majority of his $35 million estate to his partner. But they weren't married, so she got hit with millions of dollars in estate taxes that could have been completely avoided. If they'd been married, it would have been a tax-free transfer, but they weren't, so she didn't get that protection.
Now we're not pushing you towards, you know, marrying your significant other just for tax implications, but
No, just
it's a
get a trust.
consideration.
But just get a trust. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm married, so I'm good, right? Well, not that fast. Because even if Hoffman and O'Donnell had been married, his will was created in 2004 and only included a trust for one of his children. So when life changes, like you have another child, divorce, remarriage, any of those, your documents need to get updated too.
Now, I will say, pardon my interruption. In North Carolina, there are ways you can craft your estate plan so that you do not have to continuously update it every time you have another kid, another grandkid. You can reference classes of people that are beneficiaries. But as far as like including a trust for a child, if you specifically say this is this person's trust, and then you have kids later, that doesn't mean that person, that those extra kids, those bonus children are included in that trust if it's not crafted correctly. So keep that in mind. Have your estate plan reviewed every few years. That's my shameless plug here.
So,
Thank you for that.
So we get into the but we're married trap. So all the time, especially now with LGBTQ couples, and I'm part of that, and we fought hard for the right to be married. And now that we have it, you would think that the legal battle was over. But the marriage is just the beginning of the estate plan. It is not the end. Without a will, North Carolina's intestacy laws decide everything. Your spouse gets your stuff, sure, but what if you have kids from a previous relationship? They get a share too. And then if you have specific wishes about your assets, your business, your collection, your pets, tough luck. The state gets to decide.
Yeah, so we covered that a little bit previously already, but what do you actually need? Even as a married couple, you still need wills to control exactly where your assets go and to name guardians for your minor children. Healthcare power of attorney, yes, even though you're married. I have seen hospital staff get weird about same-sex spouses. I've had phone calls about it, actually, and especially in more conservative areas. We're not getting into politics. It's just, preferences and it's life. It's the way it is. It's the state of affairs. Having in the document that's a healthcare power of attorney removes any doubt. A living will, obviously your end of life wishes in writing. Financial power of attorney, so your spouse can handle business if you're incapacitated. Beneficiary designations that override the will, so you can make sure your spouse is listed on life insurance, retirement accounts, bank accounts, brokerage accounts. So I like doing this celebrity example or celebrity case study here. So got another one for you. It's quick. Heath Ledger. This is the Heath Ledger warning. Actor Heath Ledger had a will, but when it was created in 2003, that was before his daughter was born and before he met his partner. You remember her name?
Murphy.
Michelle Williams.
Michelle Williams,
Yeah.
that's right.
Brittany Murphy. They kind of...
Yeah, their daughter's name was
Similar.
Matilda, right?
Yeah, something like that. So when he died in 2008, his estate went to his parents and sibling per his old will from 2003. Now, fortunately, they did the right thing and they gave it to his daughter anyway. But that was luck, not planning. And this guy was a famous actor who could totally afford to have like the most sophisticated trust in the world and update his stuff. He never got around to it. So keep that in mind. Don't rely on luck. Don't rely on your family doing the right thing. It might happen, but it might not. Put it all in writing.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I have the Brady Bunch.
You sure do.
Because I have adult children, and then I have children that are still in school and under the age of 21.
Yep.
And then I have that I am married and to a woman.
And you have baby daddies.
Yep.
/ ex-husbands.
Yep.
Sorry.
They're ex-husbands, not just baby daddies.
That's right. I'm
My
so
children
sorry.
were born in wedlock. They're not bastards.
Oh, my Lord.
But
Then you married a woman.
yeah, I know. But she's a girl. That's the point. That's the point. But
We are not going there today.
and then we have a child together as well. So I have the
But
yours,
she's a
mine, and
girl.
ours. She is a girl. She's really cute. She might be on, the ADHD crack train, but Madeline's adorable.
Oh, she is. And your dog, Lucy, is basically
It's basically a child.
the dog
yes.
version of Madeline. Like, they have exactly the same personality, it seems like.
So when we are talking about kids, this is one major estate planning question that gets asked all the time. if you don't have a will and you have minor children and both biological parents die at the same time, what happens to your children?
So I'm glad you brought this up because we need to cover this. Okay, this is extremely important. So many of us think I'm invincible. I'm in my 30s. I'm no longer in my 30s. Recent history proves I'm not invincible. As I'm here with my crutches and my giant ass knee brace and my driving restrictions or prohibitions. So anyway, I'm invincible. I'm in my 20s. I'm early 30s. I just got married. Got a kid on the way. Why would I need a will? I don't have anything. I've got a house, got a job. That's about it.
Yeah, or I don't have a house. I just have an apartment.
Yeah. And then heaven forbid, like grandma's watching a kid and then something happens. You're in a car accident and you both pass away within a relatively short period of time of each other. What happens to the kid? Well, without leaving or appointing a guardian in your will for your minor child, that child could potentially become a ward of the state and be in DSS custody while things are sorted out. It wouldn't automatically go to grandma or whoever you want your kids to be raised by. And even if it's a relatively quick process, let's say your bestie is who you want to raise your child, but your mother fights to have that child live with them. All of your minor children. Who wins?
Usually grandma.
Yeah. And that may be a great scenario or option for you.
But it should still be your choice.
Exactly.
If it's in your will, it's your choice.
You want your sister, you want your bestie, you want, your whoever to raise your children because they're going to raise them in the way that you want to be raised for whatever reason. You want to pick that. You want to direct that and not leave it up to the courts.
Where do godparents come in on that?
So that's a tricky question. In some states, godparents have rights.
Not this one, though, right?
No. So, but if the parents die, and let's say the godparents want to step in and raise the child, they can offer themselves up or they can request that the court name them guardian. But if you have a biological grandparent that is presenting well and pushing about it, or a sibling, let's say something happens to me and Travis and my husband's brother decides he wants to be Sloane's guardian. Well, and I want Megan, my bestie, to be Sloane's guardian. Who are the courts going to pick? Relative? Or my bestie? It doesn't matter. Unless he's a deadbeat dirtbag, with a record that's a mile long and clearly wouldn't have the best interest of the child. Maybe then, but it's like terminating parental rights. It's very difficult in this state to go against blood. So just keep that in mind.
Well, and it's a little extreme, but our Madeline, the child we were just talking about, I adopted my second daughter, Monica, and she is Monica's complete full sister. And both parents died of overdose. And she was in foster care. Why they decided to try to figure it out. And multiple family members stepped up. Now, none of them were fit, but the court had to look into all of that.
Yeah.
If they said they wanted her, they had to do home studies. They had to do all of that. And
that takes
we had
time.
To fight. Mm-hmm.
So how disruptive would that be for the child? Think about
and it was
your
6
child.
weeks because it was the adjudication hearing, and so there was multiple steps to this, and so it was 6 weeks that Madeline was in limbo before she had a guardian appointed by DSS and the court system.
And that's just that was temporary. That was not formal adoption. That came later.
Yeah,
and that's a long process too. But if you had never even gotten to that level, to that stage, because if you did have a family member that wasn't on drugs.
Yeah.
But, they might not raise them according to your political views or according to, just your parental
religious
approach.
Views, any of that.
Yeah. And you should be able to pick how your child is raised and leave them with the people that you trust the most, that you want to raise your kids if something were to happen to you, and not leave that up just, to the courts to figure it out. So that's name. So if you have minor children, regardless of what you got in the bank and what your net worth is, get a will. Name a guardian for your children.
Can you have major children? You have minors. Do you have majors?
Sharps and flats.
Sharps and flats. Naturals. Yeah.
Fifths. Yeah.
It's all interval based.
Yeah.
I got a treble clef.
I got a bass clef.
I have a bass voice.
Yes, you do. Excuse me.
And so also your fur babies.
Oh yeah, so the fur babies. That's what I was actually looking up because I had come up with some stuff about that. So if you don't have kids,
Thanks, Megan.
Yeah, we got to talk about Lucy and Silas here. Which
Yeah.
if you follow our law office page, you see stories about them, pictures of them in the office.
they are our office puppies. Silas is about a year old, almost. He is a standard size golden doodle, and he is a Swedish gentlest dog. But he greets our clients. He's a greeter. He's there
With his
several
bow
days a
tie
week.
on.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes, he has his bow tie on most times. Although the picture on Facebook, I don't think he's got a bow tie on, does he?
That's Silas and Lucy.
That's awesome.
And then Lucy is the most recent addition. We're not sure how big she's going to be yet.
They say about 50 pounds. We'll see.
Well, Silas is like 65-ish. He's a big boy. But female dogs are usually a little less
smaller.
But
yeah, but she's only 12 weeks old. But she is adorable. But yeah, we have to prepare for her.
and we definitely have like voices that we use for these dogs.
Of course.
Yep.
We talk for them.
And a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The staff thinks it's hilarious, but we won't get into that today.
Not today. I'll do Silas' voice one day, though.
Yeah. So did you know you can leave? Well, we talked about your dog is a property, but oh, sorry.
You're getting notifications about taking your medication.
It's time to remedicate, which
Yes.
is why my knee was throbbing.
Yes, but it's not in here. It's
So
in the
pet
car.
trusts, we've done those. So if you don't have kids, or even if you do have kids, but your horse is your favorite living thing on the planet and not your spouse or your children. Or
And we have seen this.
Yeah.
That they were all worried about the dog, but the kids are fine. They'll be fine.
well, we have a staff member that would be more concerned with her guinea pig.
Yeah, get it right.
It did.
Yep, her guinea pig would be more important to her than
So can you have a
Anything
pet
else?
trust for a guinea pig?
yes.
Yes, you can. And you can make that as detailed or as basic as you want. But a pet trust basically would leave them money. You would pick somebody like a guardian of your pet. It's not a formal guardian, but they get custody of the pet. They're responsible for their care, maintenance, education, support,
Yep.
and they get a little stipend to allow for medical bills, pet bills, But we can be pretty specific with those. But don't forget your fur babies. So let's do another scenario. I want to tell you guys about, should we go with like a nightmare scenario, do you think?
Yeah, nightmares are fun. As long as they're not yours.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about the elephant in the room then. You and your partner are not married because, the theme of this is unmarried couples, right? You and your partner are not married. Maybe it's by choice. Maybe you don't believe in marriage. Maybe you're not ready, whatever. In North Carolina, again, there's no common law marriage. So I'm only speaking North Carolina. There might be common law in other states. But 10, 20 years, you're still a legal stranger. So let me just tell you about a nightmare scenario. It sounds harsh, but it's reality. So Sharon Kowalski. Let me tell you about Sharon Kowalski and Karen Thompson. It's a true story from 1983. And it's the reason we're even having this conversation right now. Sharon and Karen had been together for 4 years. They'd exchanged rings, bought a house together, named each other as insurance beneficiaries. They were a committed couple. They just never got married. Well, at that time, they couldn't. But in November of 1983, Sharon was in a horrific car accident that left her with severe brain injuries. Karen rushed her to the hospital and saw a sign at the ICU that said family members only. Because she wasn't legally family, hospital regulations prevented her from seeing her seriously injured partner that she'd been with for years. Even a priest had to intervene just so that Karen could get 5 minutes with Sharon. Oh, but it gets so much worse. See, Sharon's parents, who learned about their daughter's relationship with Karen only after the accident, refused to acknowledge Karen as an important figure in Sharon's life. Sharon's father became her legal guardian in July of 85, and he cut Karen's visitation rights off completely. And he moved Sharon to a nursing home that was 5 hours away. Just let that sink in. You're with somebody for years. You live together. We talked last episode about buying a house together. And now you can't even see your partner. You can't make medical decisions for her. The family's physician even wrote to the court claiming that Karen would expose Sharon to a high risk of sexual abuse. Crazy, homophobic, but it happened. It took 8 years of legal battles for Karen to finally get guardianship and see Sharon in 1991. And this is in Minnesota, but the Court of Appeals in Minnesota finally ruled that Karen and Sharon were family of affinity that deserved respect. Don't believe any of those protections existed in North Carolina prior to 2015. But anyway, this still happens today. So you're thinking, well, that was 1983. Things are different. Yes, things are better. But are they good enough to bet your partner's life on it? Because I've had clients tell me about being turned away from hospital rooms, about being excluded from medical decisions, and about watching their partners estranged family members, people who haven't been in the picture for literally years, make life and death choices for them. So how do you get around that, Megan? What document do you have?
Healthcare power of attorney, durable power of attorney,
Yes.
and a trust.
Yeah. Well, and even a will. Let's say that Sharon had scratched on a napkin, I want Karen to get everything. That's not going to help right now while she's alive, while she's in the hospital. That's not going to grant Karen access to her partner.
Nope.
So keep that in mind. Even if you don't want to get married, even if you're not ready for an estate plan, even if you're not ready for a will, get a healthcare power of attorney. This is different from a HIPAA where you have somebody on there on your MyChart that can talk to you, that can communicate with your medical providers. A healthcare power of attorney is a decision maker, and a HIPAA authorized person is not a decision maker. They just have access. So yes, the HIPAA, but also healthcare power of attorney. So
Yep, there are so many times that people come in to see us about their situations after someone has died, and we're like, God, we could have solved this so simply.
So here's another example. Granted, this was in Sweden, but it totally applies here. So do you guys remember The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo? Mm-hmm. Book
Yes.
series? I read all those books. They were crazy. Did you watch the movie?
No.
No. Well,
I own them on various forms of media, but I have not seen them.
well, I love the books. They're very dark, but very twisted. Anyway, I like them. But Stieg Larsson, the author of the books, died without a will, and his girlfriend of 32 years got absolutely nothing. Swedish law gave his entire estate to his father and his brother. So after 32 years together, she was still legally irrelevant. I mean, there are case after case after case of this because it's just the way it's the law. I think we said earlier that, the law does not care about relationships and feelings. The law, they care about legal documents. So, What happens without documents, Megan? If you're unmarried and something happens to you?
It's going to follow the statutory line of succession.
Right. So if you're unmarried and something happens to you, your partner cannot make medical decisions unless they're on your healthcare POA. Your partner cannot access your medical records without HIPAA authorization. They cannot manage your finances without a financial power of attorney. And your partner gets nothing from your estate unless you have a will. Your parents, siblings, or other blood relatives, regardless of relation, regardless of I haven't talked to them in 20 years, regardless of we're estranged, we don't get along anymore, they make all the decisions, even if you haven't spoken to them in years. So this is the one that keeps me up at night, really. You're in a car accident, you're unconscious, and decisions need to be made about your care, about surgery, life support. If your partner's not specifically named on your healthcare power of attorney, they're in the waiting room with your mother, or while your mother, who maybe didn't come to your commitment ceremony, who maybe doesn't approve of your lifestyle, makes decisions about pulling the plug. If you're married, these documents aren't optional, they're essential. So just keep that in mind. It's kind of a bummer segment.
I was about to say,
that's heavy.
That's heavy.
That's heavy. So,
But one size fits all doesn't work in estate planning. And so you need to talk to an attorney about your unique situation. That's why our consultations are an hour, because you have to go through all of it, because your life is unique and your estate plan should be too.
yeah. So I had one last story about a client. I had a client couple. They were engaged for 3 years. Kept saying they're going to get everything legal after the wedding. They wanted the estate plan to be part of their married life together, and it felt more official that way, they said. One of them was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer 6 months before the wedding, and they got married in the hospital. And then they scrambled to get all the legal documents done while one of them was actively dying. The stress, the emotional toll of having to think about death while planning a wedding and while fighting cancer. Think about that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to the person you love. Get it done now. You can always change it after you get married, but get it done now. So, Tim,
yes, ma'am.
do you have any funny stories about in-laws or?
I don't, because I have two sets of in-laws from two marriages, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never met my current wife's dad. He passed away before I ever met her. But she tells me all the time that I would be a young feller. That's what he called the ones that he did like, and just ignored the ones he didn't. So
Southern.
yeah. Well, he's not. He's from Oklahoma.
Oh.
So
well,
Midwestern, but it was
yeah.
But he did live here. But yeah.
Aw.
So I don't really have, because oddly enough, my families are relatively sane and normal. So
Yeah. Well, that's boring.
yeah.
Damn.
Sorry I let you down.
Well, I wasn't expecting anything juicy or anything. But, you know.
I was hoping for juicy. Juicy's better.
Yeah, I agree.
love-
I could probably make something up. But.
No, I love in-laws. I love my in-laws. When my husband's grandmother was alive, I will never forget this. We had just moved in together. We were living in sin before we got married.
Heck yeah.
We lived together for 2 years. No,
3, wasn't it?
no, we didn't live together the whole time.
Oh, okay.
We lived together about 2 years before we got married. And one day I came home and we were already engaged, to my knowledge. I don't remember exactly, but my husband's grandmother chases me down the driveway, and I have a long driveway. So as I'm going down the driveway, I look in the rearview mirror and I see this side by side coming down the driveway. I'm like, oh, okay. It's either my future mother-in-law or it's my future grandmother-in-law. So it's Mamaw Young. She comes down and she's like, when y'all gonna get married? And I must have told her eventually, whatever. Well, I'm not getting any younger, she says. I was like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Thank you for that statement. And she's like, so I'm going to need some grandbabies because she had two grandsons. One, my now husband, the other one, my husband's brother, who is not married, no children. And I said, okay, well, we're working on that, but there's, a traditional order of things with that. And she looks at me and she goes, well, I know all about that, but I don't care. There's plenty of people out there now that's having kids not being married. And I was like, okay, Mama, are you suggesting that we just have a baby before we get married? And she was like, well, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't hold it against you none. You're already living together. So I know what you're doing.
Oh my God.
What exactly are we doing? That's what I would have asked. What are we doing?
We're, just splitting bills.
Yeah, roommates.
Not,
We like each other.
I know you got a hole in the sheet.
Oh my goodness, sorry guys, I'm getting over a cold, but yeah, I love Mama. Mama unfortunately has passed, but that's
She did get to meet Sloan though.
Yes, she did, and I have several beautiful videos of Sloan as a 2-year-old toddling around dancing with Mama. It's in our living room. It's adorable, but yeah, that's one of my favorite. I have so many Mama stories which will come out, but that's one of my favorite in-law stories is crazy Mama. You don't have to be married to have kids these days. Plenty of people do it. Okay, well, thanks for
so you actually got permission to
fornicate. Yeah, as long as it was productive, as long as it produced a child.
You just got to practice.
Well, that's I'm sure if she had talked to my husband about my now husband, he would have said that. But
we've been practicing.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, Mamaw stories will definitely come out, but I love Mamaw, so I had to share that.
Yeah, I think that's that must be a Southern thing that it's required to have your grandmother-in-law say really inappropriate, weird stuff to you. Because that is absolutely, Abby's grandmother has said lots of weird, inappropriate things to me, so.
I wasn't going to put you on the spot, but yes, she has.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, that's maybe a conversation for another day. After we get more
I
followers.
just going to visit her in the nursing home, and she's there, and she has it happened to be her favorite aides, and she looks up at my wife and she goes, "You're queer." She's like, and she's like, "Yes, Mama, I am. I ain't no damn queer." And she just walks off. That was it. The visit was over. She just needed to announce that to the entire nursing home because we were in the dining room, so everybody's looking at us.
Of course. And then she has a dramatic exit.
Exactly, and it was not quiet. She did not have that. I'm just a little old lady voice. No, she was like, "You're queer."
That's what I love about sweet little old ladies. They're either like Travis's grandmother, Mama. She was not that feeble, sweet little old lady. It's just okay, honey. She was never that. She was the, what do you want? That. I mean, I used to smoke her voice. She's not a smoker, but you know what I mean? They're very, very firm, very aggressive.
My grandmother is the sweet.
Yes.
Yes. Would you like some milk and cookies, honey?
Oh, so cute.
Yes, in my 40s, I still want you to make me cookies, Grammy. But
So
Abby's
cute.
grandma was like, "Why'd you get so fat?"
Oh, no. Okay, yeah. Mamaw stories. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. It's the Southern grandmas. There's a wide spectrum. But
Yes.
yeah, another good Mamaw story. I made the mistake of wearing this red dress when I was 6.5, 7 months pregnant. And it's the same one that I had in that photo at Old Salem.
Yes.
After we did the candlelight thing.
Yes.
And I was wearing it. I went to church with them. And she was looking at me from across the church. She's in the choir. I was not in the choir. So the choir, yeah. And but you can feel somebody's eyes on you, wherever you are. And I was mingling, socializing, whatever. And so we drove separately. We all meet up at a restaurant and we sit down. I think it was actually at 2520, which, the tables are everywhere. They're kind of close. And there's not a lot of privacy in that restaurant
No, there's not.
at all. Like, even though there's like a wall in the middle, there's still no privacy. So we're sitting down. There's like 6 of us at the table. And as she's like moving over into her seat, she goes, Syra, stand up for me. And I was like, well, Mama says stand up. I'm going to stand up. So I did. And she goes, well, look at you, honey. And I was like, oh, she's actually going to be nice to me today. She goes, well, you sure have gotten fat. I was like, Mama, I'm 7 months pregnant. And she goes, well, are you sure? You sure there's a baby in there? And I was like, yeah, Mama, I'm pretty sure. And it's like somehow she always had these conversations with me, like with other like in-laws observing, but like the actual, like Travis was talking to someone else and had no idea this conversation was going on. Turns over and is like catching up as to what she's saying to me. He's like, Mama, she's very pregnant and everyone looks different when they're pregnant. I was not a pretty pregnant lady. Like I
doubt that's true.
Well, maybe the face, but the body, oh my goodness. Like I gained like 65 pounds. It was insane.
Still ain't nothing wrong
I thought
with
she
that.
was going to say the famous Southern saying of, well, red always does look good on a barn.
Oh, Lord. Well, I think if Travis hadn't intervened, that might
have happened.
Yeah, because, you know, there's the Southern lady, the Southern lady thing where, you know, oh, bless your heart, tramp. You know, like you always preface an insult with bless your heart. Yeah. Or, oh, bless them. Or precious. You know, like I love Southern ladies and their ability to, like their wit, like their ability to insult someone. But if you're not from around here, you don't necessarily know it's an insult until you're walking away and you're like, you know what? She said, bless your heart. And I'm starting to think maybe she insulted me right then.
My wife's is, oh, honey.
Yes. Love that. Love that. Oh, honey. Love that. That's something that I didn't grow up here, but I'm still not used to. I've been here in North Carolina at this point longer than I lived in Florida. But I still am getting accustomed to like the boldness of these ladies, well, and gentlemen.
Yes.
To just like say not even a thinly veiled insult. Like they just lay the insult out there. They just sandwich it in between bless your heart and all precious.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So anyway, got way off topic, but we were talking about some heavy stuff and, you know.
We had to lighten it up.
I'll have to post a picture of Rebecca Young so we can all see my
Rebecca Jane.
Rebecca Jane.
Absolutely. When this podcast drops, we will post a picture probably of Mama and Sloan dancing.
Yes.
But anyway, this has been Motion to Spill. If you have any crazy legal situations or questions or something you saw in the news that's an interesting story that you want us to talk about, email info@motiontospill.com. So this has been Sarah Young.
And Megan Rogers.
The Megan Rogers.
Megan Rogers. And producer Tim.
And producer Tim Beeman. Thanks. See you next time. Quick reminder, while I am a lawyer, I may not be your lawyer. This podcast is designed to educate and entertain, not to provide legal advice for your personal situation. Every legal issue is unique, and good legal advice requires knowing all the specifics of your case, which I don't have from a podcast. If you need legal help with a legal matter, please consult with a qualified attorney in your jurisdiction who can give you personalized guidance. Thanks for listening, and remember, no attorney-client relationship is created by tuning in.
This is Motion to Spill. All rights are reserved. So this podcast is ours, not yours. We made it, we own it, and we copyrighted it. So don't steal our stuff, don't copy it, share it commercially, or don't try to pass it off as your own genius. If you want to use our content for something, just ask us, like a normal person. We might say yes, and we might say no, but at least you won't be breaking the law. Seriously though, unauthorized use of this content can get you in legal trouble, and no one wants that kind of drama. And I mean, come on, she's an attorney. Don't mess with her.